For today's lesson, we're talking about making inferences. So, interpreting a graph is important and it's a useful skill that will come in handy in the real world. So, graphs appear every day in most of the information we read and a large chunk of the information that we deal with at work. Certainly, we've been seeing a lot of graphs in the media related to COVID-19 and the coronavirus. We'll stay away from that for today to give us a break. And we're going to start by taking a look at this first example, which takes a look at the Canadian dollar and how it relates to the US dollar. So we're looking at the US exchange rate for the Canadian dollar. So let's just take a look at all the pieces of this graph. On the x-axis down here, we have the year, and things to note here are where the year that it starts in and the one that it ends in. So we have a long span of time here to look for trends from the year 2000 to 2015. Then on our y-axis, we have the average exchange rate in US. So let's just take a look at the year 2000. And in the year 2000, we can see that our exchange rate is 0.673. So what that means is that 1 Canadian dollar, okay, $1 in Canadian is equal to 0.63 cents in US. You can see up here where it's at like 1.01. We say that's almost at par. So when the Canadian dollar is equal in value to the US dollar, we say that that is at par. So what does this graph tell you? I'm going to give you a minute to study it and come up with some general information. So, and when I say general information, I want you to think about trends or ideas as opposed to in 2010, the exchange rate was 0.971. So we're looking for not specific terms. We're taking a look at those trends. So pause the video and see if you can come up with some ideas. Some of the things that I came up with, which hopefully you did as well, is that in general, we can kind of see that our exchange rate has increased. Okay, so like not too crazy, but from the start at 0.67, now we're at 0.78. So we're looking at a general rise over time. So, other things that we can see here is that the exchange rate has been decreasing in the last few years. It also started quite low down here with a bit of a decrease and then had a climb here. Something happened here in 2009 and then up it went. And these were times when we were almost at par with the United States. So let's jot down those ideas. So in your notes, you can write down example 1, making inferences. But the things that we took a look at is that generally the exchange rate has increased over time. And the next thing we can say is that there was a decrease after 2005, in 2009, and at the end of the graph. So leading up into 2015 and at the end to 2015. Okay. Okay, so those are our notes on that. So now what we want to do is we want to consider any questions that we would have. So some of the questions that I would be thinking about when I see this graph that I could investigate later is why was the exchange rate so low in the 2000s? So we started in the 2000s, the exchange rate was low. What we'd want to ask ourselves is why. So what was happening during that time to give us that exchange rate? Okay. So also in the last few years, why is the exchange rate decreasing? Okay. And then lastly, I'd probably ask myself or have the question, what happened in 2008? So why the drop in 2008? Okay, so what happens when we collect data or we take a look at data over a long term is that it brings up questions, and those are the things that we can investigate. Or maybe we're investigating something and this data just helps us prove our point a little bit. Here's our second example. So the media is always talking about the exchange rate. We see a lot of graphs, a lot of people talking about on the news. Here's one caption, a graph, down here below for our example two. And the caption underneath the graph says Canadian dollar shows minor improvements over 4 years. Okay, so we not only have to pay attention to the graph, but also what the captions are and what the person who made the graph or who's showing the graph is trying to tell us. So they're saying we should be happy. We've made improvements over 5 years. So when I take a look at this graph, it raises some questions. So the first thing is what is the exchange rate or the value? So we can see here on this y-axis here, the rate, there's no scale. Okay, so we're missing that scale. So I have no idea what these exchange rates actually are. Maybe they're extremely low. And so if it increases a little bit every year, it doesn't really matter. I also would like to see each of these bars labeled with that year. The other thing that I'm noticing is that it only goes up to 2006. So this is not a long span of time. And ending in 2006 was actually a long time ago. So when we think about this graph, do we think that the caption in bold is appropriate, right? We have a lot of questions about it. And I would I would say that that caption is not appropriate and not very informative to the reader. So I would have a lot of questions. It doesn't provide current information. So that's one thing that readers really want is current information. And we might be misled and assume that this is current without interpreting the graph. We know from looking at example number one that we actually do go up, but we're in a decline right now. So from the year 2012 coming down through 2015, it's actually decreasing. So that is something that we know. I want you to remember to always look at graphs in the media critically. So you need to consider the information being used and the information that's being left out. So we want to really take note of, okay, what is shown and what is not shown. So when you're working on your assignment, I want you to think about that. What information is provided, but what is missing? And what questions do we have about these graphs? Data can be used to prove any point. So basically, mathematicians who are skilled with data and information can use the same data to prove completely opposite points. So remember to ask just as many questions about a graph in the media as the graph claims to prove. And that's the end of our lesson for today. You can move on to your assignment. If you have any questions, please post them in the discussion board.